By mid-August 2025, Chrisean Rock had stepped into a new chapter of her love life, this time with Los Angeles rapper Hood Trophy Bino, following a fleeting romance with Morgan State's Titan Thompson that barely lasted a few days. With Blueface still in prison, Chrisean was simultaneously exploring a profound spiritual awakening, attending church regularly and even preaching, signaling a turning point in her personal journey. Yet, beneath the surface of this seemingly high-profile pairing, questions lingered. Many doubted the authenticity of their relationship, and Chrisean herself offered subtle hints that it might not be as real as it appeared. Think about it. Don't run your mouth online and end up getting yourself into trouble. Just be authentic. Don't pretend to be someone you're not, only to pay the price later. You've been dragging my name through the mud for a while now, and I had to step back. I stopped showing up for you, stopped being part of the act, because I'm done with the clout-chasing, fake relationship energy for money. Honestly, it's not a good look, especially when you don't even play fair. I don't want to get into it, but you've got to understand the real dynamics here. You claim loyalty, but you're not who you say you are. And yet, somehow, despite calling him ugly, she's publicly kissing, hugging, and holding this same guy, fully participating in what she's now calling a so-called fake connection. This isn't necessarily in chronological order, but it's striking how some women suddenly find faults in a man once the relationship ends, calling him ugly, criticizing his hygiene or habits, despite having been intimately involved, sometimes even raising children together. Hood Trophy Bino didn't stay quiet, though. He came out swinging, going hard in interviews and TikTok lives, openly criticizing her and her behavior. He joked that all she ever tried to feed him was milk, highlighting her lack of awareness, and pointed out how slow and dim-witted she seemed, a critique many had already observed about Chrisean Rock. The tension escalated with arguments over basic things like hygiene, showing just how fraught the situation had become. At the same time, Hood Trophy Bino addressed deeper issues, including paternity concerns with Blueface. Despite being affiliated with the Bloods, he seemed almost sympathetic toward Blueface, calling out Chrisean Rock for her irresponsibility and even offering to conduct a DNA test himself for $20,000 to clarify the child's parentage. His allegations revealed a mixture of personal frustration, protective instincts, and outright condemnation of her actions, painting a chaotic picture of relationships, accountability, and drama that went far beyond petty social media squabbles. Hood Trophy Bino recounted a heated moment at her house when her young son, Christian Malone Jr., also known as CJ, fell off the bed. While he urged her to pick the child up, she brushed it off, claiming he was strong. This incident became a focal point for criticism, painting Chrisean Rock as a negligent mother. Questions about her cleanliness and awareness have been echoed by others, including Ray J, and Bino's recounting amplified these concerns, highlighting her lack of attentiveness and basic care. The situation worsened when Blueface's mother, Carissa, got involved, expressing outrage that the child was left on the floor unattended. The tension underscored how chaotic and concerning the environment had become, especially with lingering doubts about the child's paternity. Bino's frustration wasn't just about one moment. It reflected a broader pattern of irresponsibility and questionable choices, showing a mother who, despite appearances, seemed disconnected from the safety and well-being of her child. Hood Trophy Bino did not hold back in his candid assessment of Chrisean Rock, making it clear that he felt there was nothing to sugarcoat about his experiences with her. From his perspective, much of the criticism she had been receiving online was justified, and he didn't shy away from confirming it. In his recounting, Chrisean Rock displayed behaviors that went far beyond simple relationship disagreements. He described her as mentally unstable to the point that he even half-jokingly suggested she might need. For Bino, these mental and emotional challenges weren't just minor quirks. They were central to why he ultimately decided to step away. The chaos, the unpredictability, and the strain of trying to maintain any semblance of normalcy became too much for him to manage, and leaving seemed like the only viable option. According to Bino, Chrisean Rock's issues didn't end with their romantic dynamic. He painted a picture of a woman who is also neglectful as a mother, exhibiting poor judgment and hygiene that called into question her ability to care adequately for her child. One particular example he cited involved her asking him to physically hit her, an action that left him completely bewildered. The request highlighted the level of delusion and instability he had encountered, as he struggled to process how someone could simultaneously ask for harm while engaging in a shared domestic space. These behaviors, he suggested, were part of a pattern that went beyond isolated incidents, indicating deeper personal struggles that had tangible consequences for those around her. Adding even more complexity to the situation was Bino's own baby mama, who had been involved from the very beginning. Her presence and involvement brought another layer of tension to the already volatile mix, making the story far more complicated than a simple two-person conflict. The overlapping relationships, combined with the public airing of grievances on social media, transformed what might have been private issues into a highly visible spectacle, leaving audiences to parse through conflicting narratives. The interactions between all parties involved exposed not just interpersonal conflicts, but also broader questions about accountability, personal responsibility, and the consequences of choices made in both romantic and familial contexts. Ultimately, Bino's account of his time with Chrisean Rock serves as both a cautionary tale and a stark window into the realities of chaotic relationships that cross into public scrutiny. His willingness to speak openly about her behavior, from delusional requests to neglectful parenting, demonstrates a desire to set the record straight while also shedding light on why he chose to exit the situation. Combined with the complicating factor of his baby mama's involvement, the narrative paints a vivid picture of an entangled, emotionally charged environment, offering insight into the challenges of navigating high-drama relationships where personal flaws and public perception collide. It's a story that underscores how choices in both partners can escalate conflicts, especially when amplified in the public eye. Amid the back and forth between Hood Trophy Bino and Chrisean Rock, another layer of drama emerged. Bino's baby mama publicly claimed that he is gay, even insisting that this information be shared widely on social media. She implied that he had personal secrets she could reveal, adding fuel to the already chaotic exchanges. While Bino was airing grievances about Chrisean Rock and she was responding in kind, his baby mama's revelation injected an unexpected twist, turning a private dispute into a very public spectacle. Man, this is the reality of the streets, and unfortunately, it's a pattern that's often glamorized in Black America, though it really isn't something to celebrate. But putting that aside, let's get practical. If Hood Trophy Bino thought Chrisean Rock was that bad, why did he get involved with her in the first place? This is a situation many men face, getting with someone who might not treat themselves or others well, someone struggling or lacking stability. While the relationship lasts, it's easy to overlook flaws. But the moment things end, suddenly the whole world hears about how terrible she was. Women do the same thing, flipping the script when things go south. The irony is that when people publicly call out their partners, it rarely feels like genuine accountability. It's more about venting, and often it backfires. Critics may side with Bino, seeing him right to expose Chrisean Rock, but the truth is, he only has that leverage because he chose to get involved with her in the first place. Stories like these are revealing. The people we attract and choose to be with say as much about us as they do about the other person. And whether it's men or women, this pattern repeats. Sometimes we have to take a hard look at ourselves and ask why these types of people keep entering our lives. It really doesn't reflect well when co-parents take their arguments public, airing every grievance online for the world to see. Even if there are receipts, if you are present in a messy home, dealing with a chaotic environment, or part of the situations you're criticizing, like a child getting hurt, then you share responsibility. Often, the people pointing fingers are attracting partners who match their own energy. Low-quality choices tend to pair with low-quality behavior. There's nothing wrong with admitting your own flaws, but the real problem comes when you act as if you're somehow above it all, pretending you're better than the circumstances or people you're involved with. If you weren't part of the same pattern, you wouldn't be entangled in it in the first place.